You will Kung Fu Eddie. He will fight you to the death.
What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddie, baby. They move my audio. What? I don't care. You know what? I deserve this.
There you go.
Thank you guys for joining us. And as I continue on with Hispanic Heritage Month, even though it ended yesterday as the day of recording, but we're still going to celebrate our culture always. And I have my best friend, because, I've been talking to him for a long time. I've been knowing him since Trader Village. Mr. Gino, Medina, baby. Another round of applause.
Get a pop.
Always. Man, I'm going to let this run because, you deserve all of it.
I appreciate it.
You see, now I'm working my cameras. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Man, I'm stressing, but at the end of the day, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that we're able to talk and celebrate our culture. Again, last time we spoke, you were just coming back to wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's been a year now.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It was like
because when you posted the event with Rise of Wrestling Royalty for reality wrestling, I'm like, I think that was the pay-per-view I kind of botched the name of it.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and Booker T, I still haven't heard from me, so I guess I'm good.
that is true though, right? Because that was exactly a year ago.
Yeah,
right?
It was either October 11th or the 10th, but in that area.
Yeah, I came back last October, so yeah, you got me a whole year later.
Dude, I am so proud of you, like so much. Again, I am so very proud of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But how do you feel though? Because as a fan, I can say I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you for all the success. I mean, one of the greatest runs that you had was the Reality Wrestling Texas Championship. But how do you feel professionally? How do you feel about everything?
I feel great, man. I feel like that year that I took off from wrestling literally helped me, become a better wrestler. I was just kind of sitting back and kind of seeing it from afar, for a little bit. It opened my mind in different ways than it would have if I would have still been in wrestling. I feel like I would kind of hit a plateau when I was wrestling, a couple of years ago. So that whole year, being a whole year off and kind of just sitting back and kind of seeing what I was gonna do different, how I was gonna approach, pro wrestling.
Yeah,
it kind of helped me out a lot, And then a whole year later, I've wrestled. I was just telling him, I wrestled Aerostar, I wrestled Dijak, I wrestled Atlantis, I wrestled Trick Williams.
I'm actually excited to see that. I haven't watched it. I don't know if it's available in the YouTube of Reality of Wrestling. You see, we can see I'm trying to help you out. But again, I just can't be more proud of you, man. And I'm so happy, and especially as a Hispanic, I'm even more proud because again, that Hispanic culture does connect people more. Do you feel the same way as well, or do you feel like that you transition better with American audience than the Hispanic audience?
Oh, I feel well, at first if it was weird. I feel like the Hispanics and wouldn't really kind of gravitate towards me because I was like, they probably saw me as as a no sabo kid, but
trust me, I'm a 60% no sabo. Like I understand it, but I can't really fully speak it until I go to the motherland.
Right? Yeah, but I feel like I feel like our culture definitely does kind of judge you off that a little bit. Even with Dominic, Dominic, at least for me, when I first saw him, speak Spanish, fluently, I was like, oh damn, okay, this guy can actually, speak it, And to me, that's always pretty cool because he always, even when I'm watching Ray when I was little, I was like, oh, Ray actually knows Spanish. He's not just some random
guy, man from TJ.
Yeah, right. So to me, it's always really cool, hearing somebody actually speak Spanish and actually kind of, embrace the culture because there's a lot of people that claim to be Hispanic, but when it comes down to it, they're not actually, they don't actually speak the language. They don't actually, actually embrace the culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And I'll be the first to admit that like I used to be that person. But at the end of the day, like if your skin is brown and you represent the raza, I feel like you don't need to speak the
yeah,
language.
man, and especially right now. Right now, I feel like if
Mm.
we gotta be proud of our culture, man, because I feel like we're living in an era where it's not cool to be Mexican,
Yeah.
because you gotta
They like our culture, but they don't like the
they
people.
do not,
They
brother. Yeah,
they love Taco Tuesday, but they don't like
yeah,
who
yeah,
makes the tacos.
yeah. We're gonna take our tacos with us,
We're gonna take every single spices,
right?
salt and pepper only.
But yeah, it was when I first started, I feel like a lot of people thought that's what I was. I wasn't really, a real Mexican. When I
Mm.
because I was working mostly, like American shows and
Mhm.
whatnot, and I mostly, was wrestling that style, right? But then they realized that no, I was literally born in Monterrey. I literally grew up in the AAA locker room. I literally,
Yeah.
since I was 14, I was in lucha libre locker rooms training, paying my dues, just being around that whole environment. I feel like people started seeing that and they were like, all right, he's cool, And I feel like lately, I feel like that those people have been kind of gravitating towards me a little bit more.
And that's good because I wouldn't even guess that you had that struggle internally
Yeah, yeah,
as a Hispanic, Mexican, Chicano, Latino, whatever you want to label yourself. But I mean, you're technically wrestling royalty, no pun intended, but because you're el hijo de Calaca.
sí, sí.
Come on.
Yes.
That should already like give you more credibility. But again, again, me personally as a fan, wrestling like second generation, you have a lot to fill.
Yeah, yeah.
And we spoke about it last time. Now that you brought out the mask and you brought out the gimmick, and as you can see, the man is wearing the jacket, letting you know who he
Yeah,
represents.
this is a different one. This is a different one.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
last one was like half and half, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel that you've been accomplishing your dad's legacy? Because I remember last time you were calling some people out saying, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
y'all here representing Calaca, but you're not really
Yeah, yeah.
the real
Yeah,
Calaca."
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so. I feel like, and what we talked about last time is that like there's a lot of people in Mexico that will kind of just grab the gimmicks and kind of just steal it, because we talked about it last time. There's a Calaca or whatever, and there's another like Mascara Maligna. There's people using the gimmicks, and to me that was kind of a little bit messed up that they're out there using that gimmick and kind of just making it look bad because half of the
Mhm.
time these guys are fat and they just don't look good. They can't.
Love you, fat people.
Hey, me too. But man, if you're gonna steal my dad's gimmick, my dad was in shape. My dad was taking this serious. So if
Yeah.
you're gonna steal the gimmick, do the same. At least give me. If you're gonna steal the gimmick, you gotta steal the same. The same hustle.
No,
Yeah,
100%. Like
yeah,
you either do it be different than or better than.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And like for me, that's the way that I always thought about it too. Like I'm never gonna like uh work less than my dad worked.
Hmm.
And for now, like I mean, even till now, like feel like I've been trying to outwork, what my dad was doing. I've been trying to do more than my dad was doing. I feel like it always has to be like that. When I have a kid, if my kid wants to wrestle, yeah, I want him to do more than me. And I feel like that's just a constant, this is how you constantly get better. You always
and
gotta
that and
keep
that's
pushing
and
yourself.
that's the true definition of a parent. You want your kid to be better than you. You want your kid to be successful at whatever dreams that you had. And I don't know if this is too personal, but with you and your dad, did you feel that accomplishment with when you were young, when he was doing it and he's like, "Hey, you see what I'm doing? And if you decide to do it, you better do it better than me."
I I don't know. I feel like I never really got that vibe from him. Like,
Hmm.
honestly, I feel like he probably wouldn't have wanted me to be a wrestler. And I get it
And
because
that's a true parent. That's
yeah,
a real
right,
parent. He's like, "Hey,
yeah.
man, you see these struggles? Don't do it."
For real though. And I feel like a lot of the wrestlers now they like I've heard a couple like just watching documentaries and whatnot. I've heard a couple of wrestlers not wanting their kids to be wrestlers
Hmm.
too, and I totally get it because it's a hard business, man. It's hard business on your
Yeah.
body, and sometimes it's harder on you mentally. Mentally,
Hmm.
it can like you know literally bring you to your lowest, and it can bring you to your highest. But yeah, I feel like I love it. I don't really mind, all this like mental struggles and like my back is locked up right now. I can't even move correctly at times, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way, you know.
No.
I feel like I was born to be a wrestler, and I know that sounds a little bit weird because I was listening to John Cena recently, and he was like, for the
Yeah.
longest, I thought I was born to be a wrestler, but and then he just started going about how he's like, oh, I think I was born to be more than just a wrestler, like so that's why he's doing like different stuff and whatnot.
Movies,
Yeah, yeah,
Peacemaker.
and I thought that was pretty cool. But for me, I feel like wrestling has always been my calling, and even taking that whole year off from wrestling, I I felt like I was missing something, So
Hmm.
being back in wrestling, I feel like it kind of just has me going again, It kind of just has me happy with life. My body not too happy, but but mentally, I'm doing great.
No, and again, you understand the struggles, you understand the grind, the hustle. Because, like I said, I did had a dream for this, but physically I could do it. Mentally, I just can't. I can't be away. I can't sit in the car. I can't travel.
Yeah.
Like I hate all of that, and we spoke about that last time. And you know the sacrifices, you know everything. And with that being said, I feel like Rudy Garza, Diego, when I interviewed them, they praise you so much. And I praise you a lot as a fan.
Thank you,
You
thank you.
got the praises from your peers, from your fans, from personal family members. What do you feel like you're missing? Because I honestly believe you should be on TV in a worldwide, but what do you feel like that you're missing?
When it comes down to it, I feel like I don't politic my way to stuff,
Okay,
because I
so
feel
you're
like I'm
so,
not I'm
so you're
not
not a dick.
yeah, yeah, I'm not the guy to go out of my way to like kiss somebody's ass to be
Hmm.
like, hey, give me a spot. I'll show up somewhere and show you my work and be like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm offering. And it's up to you whether you like it or not, you know. But I'm not gonna be the guy that follows you to the car and try to like like
Like,
bring some
hey,
coffee.
hey,
Yeah,
Mr. Sir, do you want to do
yes,
this?
yeah, yeah. And I feel like sometimes it's wrestling. It is a business where there's a lot of politics in it.
Hmm.
And I mean, to a degree, I'll definitely will talk to people and like kind of you know introduce myself and tell them who I am and whatnot. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to just kind of kiss your ass. But that's just me. That's just the type of person I am. I
Hmm.
never. I've always just showed up somewhere and just been like, hey, this is what I do. Either take it or
Dude.
leave it. That, and I also feel like maybe just the time.
Hmm.
Sometimes the time isn't right yet.
No, 100%.
And for me, I never became a wrestler to be signed somewhere.
Hmm.
And I feel like for the longest, I was always thinking that like I want to be signed, I want to be signed, I want to
Yeah.
go somewhere. But then and at the end of the day, I just when I was a little kid, I was like, hey, I want to be a professional wrestler. I never was like, oh, I want to be in WWE or
Hmm.
AEW or whatever. To me, I just want to be a professional wrestler. And to me, as long as I can do that, I'm happy. I'm happy because I can literally take my talents that is being a professional wrestler and I can
Hmm.
go anywhere and just make money out of out of
No.
it. So for me, as long as I can do that, I'm happy. But of course, I definitely will want to make it to like AEW, WWE or whatnot because uh to a certain point, there is a ceiling,
Hmm.
you know, and once you break that ceiling, you do get to those big leagues,
Yeah, yeah.
and you start working people that are better than you. And to me, I'll always enjoy working people that are better than me, because it just makes me a better wrestler. So hopefully one day that can happen, but I'm in no rush to make that happen. I'm not even 30 yet, and
Oh,
yeah,
shut
yeah,
up.
I'm,
I hate when you do that.
I'm not even 30 yet. It's coming up, but I'm not 30 yet, so I still got like my whole 30s to kind of wrestle and see where I go.
Yeah.
I still have my 40s. You look at LA Knight. AJ Styles didn't make it there until they were
They're
like
great
a
examples.
late 30s, man, and they're amazing. They were ready like what 10 years ago,
Hmm.
but they finally made it there, and people see now, and then people started to think like, oh, where were these guys at? 10 years ago or whatever. They
Hmm.
were out there struggling and like,
Yeah.
trying to make it where so you can, praise them. But it takes a while, man. And I feel like everybody has different journeys when it comes down to his business. And I feel like Mine's just taking a little longer, but I really don't mind because for me, it's just all this is a lot of fun.
Can I tell you something?
What's up, man?
You bring me joy.
Thank you.
And that's like the part of also not only your professional DNA, but your Hispanic DNA as well. Because our people are coming in like, hey, yo voy a hacer el trabajo. Hey, ¿te gusta el trabajo? Okay, me pagas esto.
Yeah.
All right. And it's like, you get to the point that, hey, you show what you have. And if people like it, they will continue bringing it.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's proven with reality wrestling, it's proven with Phoenix Lucha, it's proven with Gulf Coast wrestling, I believe.
And I'll give you an example. Fourth rope. I literally, shout out to the shirt, right? Fourth rope. I literally wrestled for Roman Rose. Shout out to Roman Rose on a Thursday or Wednesday for this Floating World show in Austin, right? My friend Haley James. Shout out Hollywood.
Hollywood.
She she was wrestling for Fourth Row the next day. We were down together to Austin, and she was like, "Hey, you want to come down to the show with me? Or unless you want to stay and like go somewhere else or whatever." I was like, yeah, I'll definitely go to the show with you." I show up to the show, and Smoke it's like sitting in the kind of like in the front as we get into the building.
Yeah.
I get there and I say hi to him, like, "Hey, I'm Gino, nice to meet you." He goes, "Gino," and he like gets up and like just kind of like quote unquote marks out a little bit. I was like, "Oh damn," that's like I didn't even know who I was, and he's like, "Man, I wish you would have brought your stuff, I would have put you on." And I was like,
guess
"Bro,
what?
I got my stuff."
Wrestling number one.
Yeah.
One thing I learned about wrestling, you always bring
You
your
always
gear.
got you, always got you to have your gear. But then from that, like they had me, wrestle, before the show started, and ever since then, they brought me down to Jersey. I mean, to New York. Now I'm going to Jersey in a couple of weeks with them.
And for the
then,
Six Flags.
Yeah, and then I got a couple other dates lined up for them. So I feel like I literally didn't do anything. I just shut up, and I was like, "This is who I am," and it worked.
It worked.
Yeah, and I didn't have to, take Smoke, to the back and bring him a coffee.
Hey,
And
brother.
yeah, right. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not the type of person that I am.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I feel like and those guys have been great, man. They've given me a lot of good opportunities. Last month I got to wrestle, Kevin Knight and Kevin Blackwood up in New York, and that was a great opportunity because they have an amazing crowd and they have an amazing talent, amazing roster. So I feel like I'm just happy to be part of that right now.
And again, you should, because it's like an upcoming promotion that is like cool to be. I mean, I got the shirt. I mean, it shows you. I haven't been to one show. I wanted to go to the Austin show, but I couldn't go. And again, I'm hoping that the time that I go, you're there, and I'll make sure that everybody knows that I love this man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Speaking of appreciation, I know you say you're happy to be a wrestler and doing everything of wrestling. Have you ever? I don't know if I asked you last time, but have you gone to Mexico and wrestled over there? And
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I never actually wrestled there, but I've trained there a few times. Actually.
Okay.
Very random. Yeah, I've trained there a few times. I actually got to train with my cousin up there. I have a cousin that wrestles over there, and my uncle used to wrestle.
Yeah.
So I got to train with him for a little bit, but I actually never had a match over there. And hopefully, soon we'll set something up to kind of make that happen. I think it'd be very cool to wrestle in Monterrey because that's where my dad kind of just owned that territory for a minute. They would call him el escándalo del Topo Chico. That's what they would call him. So yeah, I feel like it would be very cool to go back to Monterrey and kind of just show them who I am, and plus I feel like that's like the area that these like fake Máscara Malignas and like Alaka are at. So we gotta see what's up with that,
You got some receipts.
Yeah, man.
They don't expire in not 30 days.
No.
But dude, I can't wait to hear the day that you do go to Mexico and wrestle there, because I mean, hey man, we just do what you did with Smoke Dizzle. Just say, hey, I'm Gino.
Yeah, right.
With all that being said, I know we're tight on time, especially with me and yourself. Looking ahead, because again, you just bragged that you're not even 30, which I'm very disappointed. What do you want to see in the future, especially with Hispanic wrestlers? Like, what do you want them to learn from the mistakes of the past, the mistakes of the present, for them not to make the same mistakes in the future?
Um, not necessarily mistakes, but I feel like wrestling right now, or like Mexican wrestlers and wrestling right now are getting bigger opportunities. I think that's pretty cool because before we were kind of just a sideshow. It was kind
Yeah.
of like, come watch, so and so pro wrestling, and also
The mass
women's match
wrestlers,
and
the
lucha
lucha
libre.
libre.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So I feel like
Little
now,
people wrestling.
yeah, right. We were kind of just that. We were like a special attraction type thing, and
Hmm.
which was anything wrong with that. But I feel like now we can be in those main events. You got Penta. You got Bandido.
Mike
Stephanie.
Santana won the
Yeah,
TNA World
yeah,
Championship.
yeah. You got all those guys. Kind of just representing everywhere and kind of just getting bigger opportunities. So I think that's always pretty cool. Even like Ray was able to be the champion for a little bit, but after that they kind of just bump him down, to
Hmm.
like just being one of being the kind of like
Being a flippy dude.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like even Eddie was kind of breaking those barriers. I feel like Eddie
Yeah.
was kind of the one that kind of broke through him a little bit because before that we hadn't really seen like a lucha libre guy really kind of come up like that.
Hmm.
Him and Ray did a lot for the business. I feel like because they gave like if it wasn't for them there wouldn't be a Penta and a Bandido right now. And those two big companies kind of representing.
Hmm.
So I feel like um, we're constantly just doing that, and I feel like it was never a thing where we kind of like we're trying to do that. I
Hmm.
feel like it was just that Latino work ethic where we just constantly trying to get better, and I feel like that's how we break barriers.
And it goes back to what you say. Like, I guarantee you, they're not in the back kissing ass.
They're,
They're
they're
not
not,
politicking.
yeah.
They're not. Again, Eddie Guerrero had a promo with Eric Bishop about coffee. So it goes to show you that we don't need to do all of that. One day, our work will succeed. And again, it goes back to the American dream that our parents came into the United States and they say, "Hey, trabaja duro, ve a la escuela, estudia, do
Yeah.
this, do that." And the moment you get to the mountaintop, you're gonna look at everything. It's like, look what I accomplished, and this is what I have, and I'm proud of it. And I
Yeah.
guarantee you, you're proud of all your success.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very proud of it, and I'm just kind of like, I have that same background where my mom did bring me to America and was like, hey, this is what you gotta like, you just gotta work hard, and that's the only thing that I was ever given, just work hard. I started training at 14, and um, a lot of an advantage that a lot of second generation wrestlers have is, hey, my dad's right there to give me opportunities. My dad's
Hmm.
right there to take me to WWE, take me to AAA. I didn't have my dad to be like,
Yeah.
hey, here, let me open the door for you. You go in. I've had to open these doors myself. I didn't have any help. At 14, I literally was training with grown-ups, just trying to get an opportunity, and I got there. I got to the top. I got to the top of like a lot of the lucha libre promotions. I've gotten to the top to a lot of promotions, and I've never had any help. And honestly, it's always been like the work ethic that my mom kind of like put upon me to be like, hey, you don't ask for handouts, you just show up and work.
Hmm.
And like we just go back to what I said earlier. Like I never just don't show up and kiss ass. I just show up to work. And I that's something that I show everybody though. Everybody that trains with me, and you said it already, it
Hmm.
was Rudy and Diego. I train both those guys, right? And I've showed them that. I'm not the type of trainer to show up and be like, hey, so and so, do this. I'm like, hey, look, this is what it is, and I show them first. This is what the the drill is. There's a lot of trainers that will show up and just tell you, just bark orders at you. I'm the type of guy that's gonna do it first. I'm like, hey, I can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I have the same mentality when I work with kids. It's like, if I can't do it, y'all not gonna do it.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm not gonna embarrass myself. So y'all could even embarrass even worse.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, you bring me joy.
Thank
And
you,
I
thank you,
truly
man.
appreciate your time. We're gonna quick do some fun Hispanic questions.
Okay,
Hopefully you can answer them as best as you can.
I got you.
What is the funnest thing being Hispanic?
The funnest thing, it's weird, but I feel like I don't know if we all have it, but I feel like a little fire sometimes in me, that Latino kid, and I just like love that feeling, It's just like getting a little pissed off, or like in the matches getting really
Yeah.
fired up, or just kind of just having that like I don't know. There's like I don't know if it's just a Latino thing or a Mexican thing. I don't know what it is, but I definitely do feel that at all times. You know, I'm just excited to like do stuff and like wrestle and whatnot. You know that and like just our culture, man. To me the Mexican culture is like one of the best ones. Like and even
Salvador.
No, I'm just saying in general,
I
like
know.
the whole Latino, culture. I feel like we embrace our culture in a different way. You know, I was just talking to some of my friends, and we're talking about Dia de los Muertos, and he was telling me that a lot of African Americans have stuff like that too, but they don't embrace that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh damn, that's crazy because I never knew that, and I would have known that if you wouldn't have told me that.
Exactly.
And we wouldn't like sat here and talk about different like Dia de los Muertos, right? So I feel like it's really cool that we still embrace our culture, even in America, because we don't stop doing it just because we're here now. We still constantly, do those little cultural, holidays or whatnot that we have, but yeah, I always thought it was really cool that how we just constantly, we just embrace our culture, and I feel like it's amazing, that we can do that.
Dude, just by you saying we embrace our culture, that kind of answered my other question was like the most underrated, because for me, it's definitely we embrace our culture a lot. But what's the most overrated thing about being Latino?
Overrated. I don't know. I'm trying to see what's the most overrated.
I will say that like,
okay,
like I understand spicy food.
Yeah.
But you don't have to burn my mouth. I want flavor. I don't want burn.
Hey, but spiciness is a flavor, though.
But guess what? It goes spicy in one mouth, one hole. Yeah. Where do you think the other spice is gonna come out, anyways?
Hey, I'm the part of the problem though, because I put spicy stuff on everything. I gotta have spicy chips, salsa. I gotta have everything. But I feel like the spice is a flavor, though. I feel like, at least for me, I feel like I grew up with my mom making salsa all the time. I moved to Florida. I started making my own salsa. So I feel like, to me, that's just what adds a flavor to it,
I understand.
But, I mean, if we're going with food, I feel like the most kind of, overrated, plate would be like mole. I don't really like mole that much.
I don't have it as much, but I understand why.
Yeah. I like it, but it's just a little overrated. I feel like there's a lot more better plates than mole,
No.
At least for me,
But for me, it's definitely...
mole and menudo. I don't like menudo as much.
I haven't had menudo in years. Because it got replaced by pho. So
okay, pho is pretty good too, though, yeah.
All right. So for the moment Hispanic Heritage Month hits, what is the national anthem for that? That we know we're here.
You gotta hit them with the tragos amargos. You gotta hit them with the tragos amargos.
I would listen to
that or just some Bad Bunny just to piss off some racist people.
Hey, I can't wait to. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have a Super Bowl party.
Oh yeah,
but it's not gonna involve football.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm like, hey, there's football. Y'all can watch it. Yeah. But y'all know what I'm here for.
Right, for Bad Bunny.
And continue on with music, because Diego said this answer, which I'll say it after I ask the question. What is the song, artist, and group that makes Hispanics tóxicos y tóxicas? Because Diego says Zafaera.
What do you mean? Like,
like for me, Obsesión with Aventura.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, she clearly said no.
Oh, yeah.
My man's still like,
oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is a good one, though. That is a good one.
It is a very good one.
Yeah, I can't think of one, but yeah, that's a good one, right off the top. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Just creeping on her. And
I mean, they have a whole catalog. Yeah. They have like, hey, you miss me. I love my mom. I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah.
Let's cheat. Let's encourage cheating. I miss you.
Yeah. I've heard that, but I never actually
sat down.
Yeah, I thought about it. It's kind of like that one song where he's cheating. He's singing with Don Omar and
yo.
Yeah.
I'm a personal story. Like, I had a girlfriend who did cheat on me.
Okay.
And we went to a Romeo Santos, and then back in my head, I'm just like, oh, she don't play yo, because I'm gonna sing that shit.
Yeah.
All right. So now with songs, what about movies? What movie would you say that represents Hispanic Heritage Month? Like, we gotta watch this before.
Not Coco.
You don't like?
I don't like Coco.
I've never seen Coco, but I do encourage Encanto though.
Encanto's. I never really watched Encanto, but there's another movie called The Book of Life. It's about
Oh,
it's
okay. I
about
think I heard of that one.
yeah, it's kind of like Coco, where it's kind of like Dia de los Muertos and whatnot. But to me, that was it's a the message behind it was a lot cooler to me. Plus, I don't like when big companies
Yeah.
exploit
Yeah.
people's culture sometimes,
So
and
kinda
I feel
under-
like Disney does
yeah.
that. I feel like they try to do that with Coco, but when it comes down to it, they don't try to support our people,
Yeah.
and they don't give our people a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities. So I feel like
You have better morals than I
hey man. So I'm
I
just
start
like
respecting more.
so I'm just like Coco, you are just exploiting our people. And that abuelita is not real.
But we all had that abuelita though, like the one that sits in the chair.
Yeah, it just sits there, just
doesn't do anything.
kind of dead.
We have to say hi, but
Yeah.
you never know if they're gonna hi.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we already know menudo and mole is not the dish, but what dish would you end Hispanic racism?
Man, there's so many of them.
Like
Well,
this will put white.
let me give you a Salvador versus Mexican little thing. They said that out of all Hispanics, the Mexican food is the best.
Man.
I'm sorry. They said
Hey,
it.
as
They
a
voted.
Salvadorian, I agree. But here's the thing: we only need one.
Okay.
They need many.
Oh damn. Okay. Well, all we need is a tortilla, and we can make you.
Yeah,
good
and
different
guess
plates.
what? Guess what? We put that tortilla with meat, cheese, frijoles.
With the pupusa?
We only need one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a few though. That's the thing, 'cause
Exactly,
We
y'all got a
have
few.
enchiladas. We have my mom. I love Mexican food because of my mom. My mom literally, she wouldn't really take us out to eat. She would just cook for us. Every day. Literally meals. And to me, I that's how I fell in love with it, because like then I moved to Florida and there was no Mexican food over there. It was just like Puerto Rican, other Hispanic, Dominican,
Cubanas.
Cubans,
Yeah.
Colombians, but Mexican food couldn't find it anywhere. It got so bad that I just made it myself. I just started making it myself. And
Like as long as y'all got the ingredients, we good.
yeah, and that's how I kind of got good at like cooking, because I just started making my own dishes. But I feel like a good salsa can, definitely,
Can change everything.
yeah, I can change anything, because
I
you
agree.
can take it anywhere.
Okay, so this one is kind of like a personal, because again, this man not even 30. If they had built a Hispanic Heritage Hall of Fame and they embrace lucha libre, what is one of your matches that you will put in your hall?
Of my matches,
Yes, of your matches. Because me personally, when I saw you with, I don't know what was his first name, but I had to Google it. It was the Alpha Wolf when you did it at Loco.
Oh yeah.
That match
yeah.
was
Oh yeah,
clean.
Yeah. Him, it's Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane.
Yes.
The brothers. That one was a pretty good match. I feel like I don't know. There's some interesting ones, because I've gotten to wrestle with Chavo Guerrero, and
Yeah,
to
that's
me
awesome.
that was like crazy. Because I Googled it, and I YouTubed it, and there's a match out there where it's my dad versus Chavo Guerrero, like senior,
the senior.
a
Okay,
long
cool.
time
Just want to
ago.
make sure.
So kind of like doing that, me versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. Now, to me that was pretty cool to make that happen. But I feel like it's a good match. We're wrestling in front of like a little stadium, like a little crowd that was at the soccer field, the one downtown. I forget the name of where the
In
Dynamos
Houston?
play. Yeah, where
Okay, yeah. I think this is the Shells.
yeah. But that was a good match. But I feel like, to me, I feel like my favorite like lucha libre match of mine will be me versus Psycho Clown.
Nice.
Yeah. At local wrestling too. I feel like the crowd was hyped for it. I was hyped for it. Psycho Clown was hyped for it. I
That's
had
always the good ingredients.
yeah, and I never really watched Psycho Clown wrestle before that, and I YouTubed him, and he was doing a lot of like comedy spots, and a lot of like he was running around with his belt and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is a match that it's gonna be, because I was just kind of like watching him to see like what kind of energy he brought, right? And I didn't really know who he was, and then he came down here, and like It's like I got like Bret Hart, man. He just started. he like turned into a different type of wrestler. He was literally
because he was watching you and he was like, "How does this guy wrestle?
Yeah.
Do I have to be funny or I have to be legit serious?"
Yeah, right. But he did a little bit of both. But he actually wrestled. I remember Laredo Kid and Mecha Wolf were watching the match, and they're like, what just happened? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you just made him wrestle. I was like, I didn't make him wrestle. He just wanted to wrestle. He was excited to wrestle me. And I thought that was cool. Like that he came here and like saw me, saw a young guy and was like, all right, let him put my working boots on, you know? And he did. He put them on. And I feel like yeah, he's just been like one of my favorite guys to wrestle ever since, you know. I've gotten to wrestle him like about 3 times now. But that was like one-on-one where I was just like, oh damn, this was really cool. You know, it was really cool that, you know, I got to wrestle him and like knowing who he is and kind of seeing him now where he's at. I feel like it's amazing that to me it makes sense why he's there because he's just so good and he's just very professional and he's just a really good guy, man. You know, he comes from that you know, that wrestling family, you know.
Yeah,
his dad was
Brazos de Oro, right?
yeah, his dad was a Super Porky and whatnot.
Yeah,
I grew up watching Super Porky in AAA, so I thought it was
the
pretty
definition of sex symbol, right there.
yes. So yeah, man, that would be my one, man. Gino versus Psycho Clown.
Dude, again, I truly appreciate you coming out, man. I gotta
Thank you, man.
shake your hand, man, and give you
appreciate
the
you.
round of applause because we just finished talking to Gino, baby, and we are out, guys.